What's going on, ghosties? We are Tales of Spooky Coffee House. Welcome back to our podcast. If you're new here, thanks for joining us. I'm Veronica.
And I'm Chelsea.
And on today's episode, we are going to be talking about LOL, the lipstick killer, as well as some spooky tales of Reddit. We're also going to pull the tarot cards of the week. But before we get started with that, let's have our coffee break to pump us up.
Whoop,
This
whoop.
me? Okay, there
There
we
we
go.
go.
There she is. There
there
she
I am.
is.
Hi.
Bro, I have you watched Immaculate yet?
No, I have not. It's on my list.
Oh, bro, I watched
Was
it.
it good?
I watched it was so good and gory. Okay, I didn't know it was gonna be a gory movie. It was so hard to sit through.
Hmm.
But I got through it. And what was funny is that I went Saturday night with my coworker Crystal.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the movie, she goes, I can't believe we watched this the day before Easter. And I was like, oh, Crystal, how dare you make me sin like this? I felt so bad. Anyways, but it was a really good movie. I highly recommend it. But if you don't have the stomach for like gore, like blood, just don't do it.
And I think
Don't
we
go.
all know that I'm okay with that.
You're most definitely okay with that. You're meant for that, okay?
Speaking of movies, so I think it was last weekend. I'm not sure, but I tell you about the movie that like horrified my mom, her boyfriend, and I?
I don't remember.
Okay, so we were just watching movies all day, right? We were having a lazy day. We were like, we're not doing shit but watching horror movies all day, right?
Mm-hmm.
The movie is a remake of, I think it was like a 1995 movie, but it's called Castle Freak, and it came out in 2020. It was inspired by, oh, what is that horror? H.P.
You do
Lovecraft.
it.
Yeah, H.P. Lovecraft. I was like, it's right there at the top of my head. It's based on, it was inspired by an H.P. Lovecraft story. And we were like, we'll watch this, whatever. And we're watching it. And then there's this part where the castle freak is peeking through a peephole at the couple having sex. Trigger warning, ghosties. And
Why?
and I know, but it gets really bad, okay? So the castle freak is like peeping through this hole and
Uh-huh.
literally is the weirdest orgasm that I've ever seen in movie cinema. Okay? Because I like movies, so I've watched a lot of weird movies, but this like takes the top of the like. Anyways, so at that point, I was like, my kids were doing their own thing, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck is happening right now, but those kids need to go upstairs. And my mom was like, oh, you're just exaggerating. I'm like, no, they need to go upstairs and you guys need to sit down because I don't know what's happening in this movie and I don't know what you put on, but it's not normal. And so they're sitting there, right? It's just the three of us. My kids are upstairs, they're doing their own thing, they don't give a shit. And a little bit later, there's this part where the guy is cheating on his girlfriend. Okay? The girl that he's cheating on her with ties him up, blindfolds him, they're being all sexy. All of a sudden, the castle freak hits her in the head and she's dead, right? And this guy's still blindfolded, so he has no idea what the fuck's happening. And then she climbs on top of him. Okay, and it's the weirdest sex scene that I've ever watched in my entire life. And the three of us are so horrified that we can't stop watching. And I'm like, what kind of weird ass porno did you guys put on? Because this is like, it was so horrifying that we couldn't stop watching. And by the end of it, the movie's ending was so confusing that we were just like, mind fucked.
And yeah, I don't want to watch it.
I, I, I don't know what these people were thinking when they made this movie, but it was so traumatizing, dude.
I mean,
And
what was J-Lo thinking when she was making her fucking movie?
that's true. But a week goes by, right? and somebody said something, and I was like, I swear to God, if you put on some weird ass porno again, I'm going upstairs and you guys can watch it. And I shit you not, as soon as I said that, like 2 minutes later, the movie and a little clip of it, the part that horrified us, pops up on my mom's boyfriend's phone, and he's like, ah, ah, ah. He like throws his phone on the table, and he's like, what the fuck? So not only did it
No.
traumatize us, but it's haunting us now.
Yeah. Damn. Hey, but isn't that crazy though? Okay, well, speaking of kind of, like, it's a thing where, like, if
Our
you watch a
phones listen
certain
to us.
movie, well, okay, that too, but isn't it like a thing where, like, if you watch a certain video or if you look at a certain picture, that it could, like, haunt you or curse you? It's like that one song, the Suicide song,
Yeah, I've heard of that before. Yeah.
that I've listened to over and over again, yet here I am.
I,
Um,
oh my gosh,
but
that was
it's
so
a beautiful
dark.
song though.
Oh my god.
Okay, well, okay, you know what? Let me change the subject then to something a little bit less dark.
Okay.
Did you hear about that 27-year-old Rosendo
Actor.
Tellez?
Oh.
No, this 27-year-old that ate a severed leg of a train crash victim in California.
What the fuck?
There's a video out there of a construction worker that was working on the street and started recording what looked like, and it definitely indeed was, a man eating a severed leg of a guy who got killed by a train. He got hit by a train. And in the video, you see him like munching on it, like biting into the leg, and this, like, trigger warning, but like the skin's all like hanging out and stuff. And it's wild.
Listen, poverty and starvation are an issue in America.
Jesus.
I don't know if I could ever be hungry enough to eat a human leg, but never say never.
Well, there are news outlets that are saying it was a combination of drugs that led him to eat the man's fucking leg.
Mm,
So, let's hope he wasn't hungry.
right.
Um, but anyways, I do have a couple of hypothetical questions for you. I came across these and thought it would be fun to ask you. So if you don't mind being victim.
I mean, I've been a guinea pig 3 times today, so go for it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Um, do you want to tell us about that first?
Oh no, they were just like at work, because I'm new, that they were just like using me as a guinea pig for new things happening. So.
I would do the same thing to you. I'm not even gonna lie. Okay, so first question. What is something that I would never do, even if someone were to offer me thousands of dollars to do it?
um, Kill somebody you loved.
Interesting. Okay.
Are you saying you would kill somebody you love for a couple $1,000s?
No, no, no. I'm just saying it's interesting that that's your answer.
Why?
Um,
What do you think would be mine?
that's what the was for. Okay, I started thinking about it. God, I don't think you would ever sell one of your daughters.
You're right.
Okay. Um, you're like, it has to be millions, not thousands.
No,
They
never.
gotta up the price. Okay. I'll answer this for you as well, but if I was secretly keeping a massive weird collection of something in my basement, what would it be? And it has to be something no one could predict.
So the Pedro Pascal shrine is out. Um,
Yes, very much so.
um, Something that you would collect that nobody would guess.
I have my answer, but it's just so weird and random.
I feel like you would collect dolls.
Okay, that's not a bad answer.
What was your answer?
Oh, um, mummified bodies? I could just picture you like I could picture you walking down into your basement and like all I see, you know, like that mummified shrinked head in Beetlejuice?
Yeah.
I picture that kind of stuff in your basement, like
Just
on sticks and like or like steaks or whatever they're called. And like I don't know.
that really is so random. Every time I go to the basement to do laundry now, that's all I'm gonna think about.
Or like you know how like in some scary movies they have like fetuses in jars?
Yeah.
Like I could picture you having that like weird shit. It's cuz I watched that scary movie, okay? That was in there and that's
Oh.
what's in my head.
Okay. So
I
like,
don't actually think you would have this, but if I'm like
I was gonna say I'm not Dr. Frankenstein, so
no, but going based off of my imagination,
that's what I would
yeah.
hoard. Okay.
Where you would get this stuff, I don't know. That's an interesting
You can
question.
buy anything online now. Just just
Anyways,
saying. Did you see Misha Collins's April Fool's joke post?
no.
So he wrote this article thing. It was talking about how there's gonna be a Supernatural reboot.
Hmm.
And do you remember Becky from Supernatural, who was obsessed with Sam?
I don't think so. I don't know. I haven't watched it in a while.
Well, anyways, she was like Sam's stalker in the show, and so the article is written by her. Okay, that was the first
Hmm.
sign that the article was fake. Some people believe that this article is real, but it was basically going on about how like Eric Kripp, who was the creator of Supernatural, so he was talking about like how he's redoing this show with an all female cast, how Jensen wasn't on board, but now he's gonna make him do it, and how he's gonna make him do a cameo, and how it's gonna be a stipulation in his contract that he has a nude scene, like more nudity from the boys. And it was just like going on and on, right? And like the more I read, the more I just could not stop laughing, and I can't believe people think it's real. But yeah, he totally had this whole prank article, and it was the funniest thing.
Love that. Speaking of April Fools,
Yes.
before we officially get started with our episode, there is a birthday shout out that Chelsea and I would like to throw out there.
Happy birthday from all of us to you. That's all I know of that song.
I
Uh,
failed at it miserably last year, so I'm not even gonna attempt it. But happy birthday, Taylor! Our friend Taylor, her birthday was April 1st.
she's an April Fool's baby.
She is. She's fooled us all. I'm just kidding.
You know, when I first met Taylor and she told me her birthday was April 1st, for like 4 months, I thought she was lying to me and it was just like a big joke.
Uh huh.
And then I found out that she was serious.
Yeah, I don't even remember. I think I've always had that in the back of my mind. Not okay, as a kid,
Yeah.
when I first met Taylor, you know, like
Yeah.
I wonder if she's lying.
Yeah, I don't remember which teacher it was. One of our middle school teachers actually, like I was helping them do something and I saw the birthday list. You know how like they have a list of everyone's birthdays?
Yeah.
And I saw that hers said April 1st and I was like, oh, she wasn't lying.
How old is she? Is she 29? She's not 30, right? I don't think she's 30
I
yet.
don't think she's
I
30.
think she's just turning 29.
Not us announcing to the world her age. Sorry, Taylor.
It's okay. She'll yell at me. It's all good. Also, today is someone else's birthday.
Whose birthday?
You want to take a lucky guess?
No, I'm bad at this. I'm bad at this game.
Okay. It's Pedro's birthday.
Oh, fuck. I should have guessed that. God damn it.
Yeah, I know. I'm a little disappointed in you.
No, you know why I should have guessed that? Because I was looking up like national and worldwide holidays for because I'm doing marketing at my new job and I'm doing posts relating to my job's niche and I thought it was tomorrow that I saw Pedro Pascal's name, but I guess it was today
Yeah, he's old.
because it
I
had a
think he's
list of
49.
is he?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I did not know that. I thought he was a little bit younger.
No, he just looks that good. Anyways, would you like to get us started on the true crime topic of the week?
Yeah. So, the true crime topic of the week, we are going to talk about the debated crimes of the lipstick killer, also known as William Harness. I'm pretty sure I said his last name wrong, but you know, that's what we're known for here.
Yeah. Yeah. What's new?
Right. So, William was an American criminal and possible serial killer who confessed to 3 murders. He was born and raised in Chicago, and he was arrested for petty crimes like carrying a loaded gun, theft, and I think it was like 11 burglaries. He was sentenced to 3 years at, I think it's like St. Bede Academy, where he was an exceptional student. Like, he was sentenced there, that's where he did his time for his crimes. He was eventually accepted into the University of Chicago's special learning program. His classmates also remember him as being super popular with the girls. So overall, besides his like petty crimes, he really didn't have any like bad things to say about him, right? On June 5th, 1945, a 43-year-old woman, Josephine Ross, was found dead in her Chicago apartment. Trigger warning, ghosties, these crimes are very detailed, and the last one is gonna really like hit you hard.
Oof.
So Josephine was repeatedly stabbed, and her head was wrapped in a dress, and dark hair was clutched in her hand, so they like assumed that that was the DNA from whoever attacked her.
Mhm.
No valuables were taken from her house, and police were unable to identify a dark-haired man who was reportedly seen running away from the building. Okay? Months later, on December 10th, 1945, Frances Brown was discovered with a knife lodged in her neck and bullet wound to the head in her apartment. Again, nothing was taken. However, a message was written in lipstick on the wall, which read, "For heaven's sake, catch me before I kill more. I cannot control myself." Now, mind you, the writing, I can't really show, like, I can't show pictures because we're on a podcast, but the writing was all uneven, very scratchy, misspelled words. So keep that in mind for later. At Frances's crime scene, police found a bloody fingerprint that was smudged on the door jamb of the door, and a witness said that they heard gunshots around 4 a.m. And the building's night clerk said that he witnessed a nervous-looking man of 35 to 40 years old and weighing 140 pounds who got off the elevator and left around that same time. At one point, Chicago police even said that they had reason to believe that the killer was a woman. Okay?
Oh, interesting. I like that.
Yeah. So this last murder is the one that's gonna really hit hard. So ghosties, just if you need to take a minute, pause the episode.
Hang in there, guys.
Yes. Um, on January 7th, 1946, 6-year-old Susan Degnan was discovered missing from her first floor bedroom in Chicago. Police had found a ladder outside of her window and a ransom note that said, "Get 20,000 ready and wait for my word. Do not notify the FBI or police. Bills are in 5s and 10s. Burn this for her safety." So, kind of at this time, there was a nationwide meat packer strike, okay? And so a lot of things were going on with like black market meat, especially by people killing other humans to pack them up and sell them as like actual meat because of the strike. So this comes into play. Acting on an anonymous tip, the police discovered Susan's head in a sewer a block away from the residence of the executive of the meatpacking plant that was right there. They also found her right leg in a catch basin, her torso in another storm drain, and her left leg in a separate drain. Her arms were later found a month later in another sewer. And so she was completely torn apart.
Yeah. Rip
Yes.
from limb to limb.
The blood was found in the drains of a laundry tub, in the basement laundry room of a nearby apartment building, and that ended up having the police question hundreds of people. They gave a polygraph examination to about 170, and several times claimed to have captured the killer, but eventually everybody was released. Okay, so with this, especially because of the 6-year old's death, this was a major issue, and there was a lot of fear and panic going on. Several people were arrested, and They tried to pin the murder on these people, but it didn't succeed. So one person was 65-year-old Hector Verberger, who was a janitor in the building where they had found like the blood and body parts and all of that.
Mhm.
They held him for 48 hours and not only questioned him, but also beat him as well. In a quote, he says that this is the quote. Oh, they hanged me up. They blindfolded me. I can't put up my arms. They are sore. They had handcuffs on me for hours and hours. They threw me in a cell and blindfolded me. They handcuffed my hands behind my back and pulled me up on bars until my toes touched the floor. I no eat. I go to the hospital. Oh, I am sick. Any more, and I would have confessed to anything. Okay, that was the quote by just the person that they suspected to be the killer. They also had a false lead that accused Sidney Sherman, who was a discharged Marine who fought in World War II. They believed that this man had also killed her. And I'm kind of skipping over a lot of details because there's so much that happened that we would literally be here for hours talking about this.
Mhm.
So, kind of fast forwarding, on June 26, 1964, okay, it's like 5 months later after Susan, the 6-year-old, was murdered. On June 26, 17-year-old William Harness was arrested for attempted burglary. During this arrest for burglary, okay, not for murder or anything, they had no connection to this case. He was arrested for burglary. All of a sudden, two psychiatrists, Doctors Haynes and Roy Grinker, gave William sodium pentothal, which is known as truth serum. They gave him this drug without a warrant and without his parents' consent. Mind you, he's 17. He's still a minor. He should have still had a parent with him. They interrogated him under this drug for 3 hours, and under the influence of this drug, they claimed that he spoke of an alternative personality named George who had committed the murders. William claimed that he recalled little of the drug induced interrogation, and when police asked for George's last name, he said he couldn't remember. And in 1952, which we're kind of like fast forwarding, but we're going to come back. In 1952, which was 6 years after all of this happened, um, Roy Griniker, who was one of the psychiatrists, actually revealed that William had never implicated himself in any of the killings. So basically, what they said in 1946 when he was first arrested was a lie. William would be held for 6 days where he would be drugged, starved, beaten, and refused to have an attorney. On his 5th day in custody, he was given a lumbar puncture without anesthesia and was driven to police headquarters for a polygraph test. Because of the fact that they gave him the lumbar puncture, he was deemed to be in too much pain to actually complete the polygraph. So they literally said, "Oh, we're going to do this, but it's not going to work." When they did finally give him a polygraph test, the results were announced to be inconclusive, and he was transferred to Cook County Jail on July 2nd, 1946. So during all of this, handwriting analysis could not definitively link William's handwriting to the lipstick message that police claimed had been found at the murder, or at Francis's murder. The smudged fingerprint that was left on the door jamb, do you remember me talking about that?
Yes.
Okay, so a smudged fingerprint allegedly became a 65% match to William's fingerprint. On a point scale, this leads up to 9 points of comparison, and a lot of people argued that the FBI handbook regarding fingerprint identification required 12 points to have a positive match. But they're saying that, oh no, the 9% is enough to convict him. Without having a warrant, police also searched William's residence and college dorm. They released information that they had recovered a scrapbook containing pictures of Nazi officials that belonged to a war veteran. They also claimed that in William's possession was a stolen copy of Psychopathia Sexualis, which was an 1886 book that studies sexual deviance. They also found a stolen medical kit, but did announce that those medical instruments could not be linked to the murders. They also found a gun in his possession that was linked to a shooting. So, with all this information, okay, the inconsistencies, the information that suddenly changed, there was a total of 29 inconsistencies between William's story and the truth of what they actually found at crime scenes. They did find a knife that William claimed to have thrown on some train tracks. When they found it, they tried to claim that this was the murder weapon of the 6-year-old girl, but it was never determined that it was the dismemberment tool because they never found any of her blood on it. So it was very hard to convict him. Yet somehow they did. He was given 3 consecutive life sentences for these crimes. He was eventually given an institutional parole for one of the murders in 1965, which was almost 20 years later. And in 1966, he was discharged on that case and began serving his second life sentence. In 1972, he became the first prisoner in Illinois history to ever earn a 4-year college degree, and he received a Bachelor of Arts. He also helped a lot of other inmates, over 350 of them, to get their GEDs. And in multiple years, he tried to get parole or clemency for any of these charges, but he was not given them. And he was eventually transferred to a low security prison. But then in 2012, on February 26th, he was taken to the University of Illinois Medical Center because of complications from diabetes, and he eventually died on March 5th of 2012 at the age of 83. He was also considered to be Illinois' longest serving prisoner in history. So, a lot of information, a lot of inconsistent information. Veronica, what are your thoughts on the lipstick serial killer actually being innocent?
Well, I want to start off by saying I think when cops are shady like that, doing things without warrants and without the official okay,
Mm-hmm.
that right away gives me like an assumption that it's one of them or
Mm.
it's some kind of political leader.
Uh-huh.
It's
Interesting.
someone with a lot of money to cover, you know, easily pay the cops to be like, nah, just fucking pin it on this guy,
Right,
you know?
right.
Is there a chance that it's not him? Yeah, I mean, that's what these inconsistencies and the shadiness has led me to believe.
Mm-hmm.
Is there still a chance that he's guilty? Sure, you know, but
Right,
right now it's more like he's innocent.
right. And my other theory too, because I had been talking to my mom about this, her boyfriend had never heard of the lipstick killer. So he was like researching everything and he was like mind blown as he was reading it all. But the theory that I was thinking, it's 1940s, okay? It's so easy to manipulate information and nobody really, we don't have technology and social media like and outlets like we do today, right?
Yeah.
People would have been so fearful. Like, oh my gosh, especially with that little girl, right? They would have been horrified. There would have been an uproar. There would have been chaos. They would have wanted to end it all by supposedly finding the killer.
Yeah.
And so I think that they just found this easily targeted 17-year-old that they could easily put it on by doing stuff like that, like drugging him, beating him, making him confess to things that he didn't do, because who would care? No one,
Yeah.
like no one but his family changed their name because they couldn't stand the scrutiny.
It's also very scary knowing that that's still very possible
Mhm.
to be accused and pinned of like doing something you've never done
Mhm.
or you have no connections with. Like that's a fear. That's a legit fear
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah, like there was this I don't remember what the guy's name was. I think we talked about him before on our earlier seasons. He was a black man who was accused of raping a white woman in a time where color was still an issue.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and it wasn't in
And
yeah,
he
yeah, yeah.
spent like 38 years in prison for her to come out and say, "Oh, I lied about it all."
Yeah.
Like, being accused of a crime you didn't commit is the worst possible thing somebody that could ever really happen to somebody.
I don't think they went to jail. I think they were beaten to death. And it's that kid that they have in the open casket because the parents wanted to show what they did to him.
Oh no, that's a completely different. But yeah, that is still too. There's multiple cases of that kind of thing happening.
Oh,
Um,
that's what's sad.
yeah, unfortunately. But yeah, that is my topic on the debated crimes of the lipstick killer.
Anyways, ghosties, let me make your day a little better.
You're
Because
like enough.
that was because like no, because like
No,
if it
it's
is
depressing.
if he is innocent, like how fucked up is that, you know?
Yeah.
So, ghosties, I'm gonna be talking about spooky tales of Reddit. I just wanted to tell some scary stories, man. You know what I mean?
I'm
Like
so
Halloween
excited.
is around the corner. I I'm
If
excited.
anybody listening to this podcast says Halloween is so many months away, you're listening to the wrong podcast. I'm sorry. It's spooky season all the time.
If you just said what she said that you said, imagine me slapping you, okay? All right. So I only have three scary stories, but it's three that I really liked, so I just wanted to share them with you. So we could talk about them in between if you want. We don't have to, whatever. So the first one is called Hurricane Katrina Volunteer Recounts. This one. Oh, this one. So, you slash Angel Fox One has a medical background that they rarely use, but decided to put it to good use to volunteer in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina. They were assigned to find houses with dead bodies in them once the water started to recede. One particular house was fairly run down and immediately unnerved the original poster, the poster of this post. Upon entering the house, they found macabre decorations and possible evidence of voodoo practices. Okay, so ghosties, I just want you to picture yourself like in their shoes, okay? The poster and their partner found an old lady's remains chained to a beam by the wrist. Her face still looked as though she was alive when suddenly the two partners heard a loud cackling noise. They quickly exited. So, what if this was you, Chelsea? What if you had a good heart and you said, "Let me volunteer and look for people." And you come across this house with a bunch of voodoo creepy ass shit in this house and you see a fucking dead body chained up.
I'm walking
And then you
away.
start hearing the chain walking
I'm
away.
walking away.
Oh,
But
that
I
is
am
pretty
not about to fuck
spooky.
around and find out.
Yeah, this story, like it's rare for just like a story to spook me out, but this one spooked me out. I was like, ew, I didn't like picturing that. The second story is the abandoned house in Kentucky. So, in the remote woods of Kentucky, U dash express underscore cancel 5238 decides to explore an old abandoned house with a mysterious history. As they approach the house, they hear their name called by a beautiful female voice, but no one in sight. Still, they proceed inside. Once they reach upstairs, they feel a cold breath on their neck, ill, and a hand on their shoulder, double ill, followed by the sound of running footsteps and a little girl's laughter.
Ew.
Terrified,
Yes, I
they
am.
sprint back to their home, but the eerie occurrences continue with strange encounters and silence in the woods. The original poster has been back in the house since, but has never had an experience like they did that night. It's the footsteps and the little girl's laughter for me,
It's the little
man.
girl's laughter from me. Yep.
Like, no. It's the woods too. Like, I don't fuck with woods.
Yeah.
I do, but I don't. Third story, creepy old hotels and their ghosts. I love this one because I love going to haunted hotels. It's one of my favorite things to do. You slash not lifelike worked the graveyard shift in an old boutique hotel. It was only him and the front desk lady, and they didn't have much to do at night. So he would sit in the lounge and watch movies on his laptop. One night, while watching a movie, he looked up towards the front desk and saw a little boy in an old newsboy's outfit from the early 1900s staring at him. At first, he thought, oops, I didn't hear the elevator open. Must be a family checking out. He set his laptop down and got up to walk into the lobby, but once he walked around the corner, there was no one there. He radioed the front desk lady and asked if she saw anyone on camera, to which she replied, no. I love it. I hope if I'm ever gonna see a ghost in person, I hope it's at a like hotel, like a
Mm-hmm.
creepy hotel or like a boutique hotel. Like I don't think I've ever been to a boutique hotel. That would be cute. Um, I've been to a haunted Airbnb and shit did happen in there.
Mm-hmm.
Oof, just thinking about it.
That's the one that you went to at Stephanie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was the dead black spider in the shower for me that let me know that Airbnb was in fact haunted. It wasn't even the lights flickering in the
It was
bathroom.
the dead spider.
It was the dead spider. It was like that's an omen. Like that right there is a sign.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, those are my spooky tales of Reddit.
I really liked those. It makes me feel inspired for our anthology that's coming out.
Dude, I can't wait to work on those even more because they're just like I love using my imagination.
Yeah.
Especially like I don't know how to express my excitement. I'm so
You're
sorry.
fine.
Words are hard for me. Let's move on.
Well, no, I was gonna say too, like for me, because I was really feeling like that creative emptiness for so long, for like literally like the last couple months, because like I didn't even get my books done that I wanted to get done because I was feeling it. Working in marketing now, full time, has made me so inspired because I literally get to create all day long. And I thought for like a hot second that it would like wear me down, but constantly getting to be creative just is making it so much fun again. And so I can't wait to start working on our stories because I'm excited now.
Love that.
But would you like me to get started on the tarot card of the week?
Yeah, what did you pull?
Well, first of all, I gotta find out where the fuck my tarot cards went.
It was the ghost.
No, seriously.
The ghost of the little girl in your room.
Oh, there they are. And it's not the little ghost girl in my room, it's the little boy. Remember?
Ew, why would you have a little boy in your room, weirdo?
Not like that. That's the ghost boy. His name is Luke. Did I tell you that? The little ghost boy that I think I told you that there was a ghost in the house before.
Ah, yeah, you told me
His
about
name
that,
is
but
Luke.
how'd you find out that it was Luke?
He told us.
Spirit box?
No, so you know how mom like gets a sense of things?
Mm-hmm.
We were playing around because we used to just call him Little Man. Like that's what we were calling him because we didn't have a name. And one day we were just sitting there and we were talking about like, oh, like what's his name? And we were just like saying random things. And then all of a sudden my mom goes, Luke. His name is Luke.
LOL.
Like it was like final
she had
hand on the
a
table slap and it was like his name is Luke.
she had a ghost whisperer moment.
Yes, we were like, all right, his name is Luke. We got
Got it, mom, loud and clear.
it. So this week's tarot card that I chose, well, didn't choose, you know what I mean, is the High Priestess.
Love it.
And yes, I feel like we both needed the High
Haven't we
Priestess.
pulled this one this season. We're getting good shit this season.
Yes, and also I feel like it's like, because the High Priestess ghosties, if you haven't been here or you don't know much about tarot cards, really represents like wisdom and awareness and the divine feminine. It's a signal to listen and trust your intuition, because the more that you do, the stronger your intuition is going to become. And this is a reminder that the answers that you are kind of like seeking will come to you once you connect to like your subconscious mind. And you don't even have to like really connect to your subconscious, just trusting yourself will connect you already. And I feel like the High Priestess is just reminding us, like, because we've both been struggling for the last few weeks, and I feel like this is a reminder, like, hey, you're doing great, keep going, you've got this.
Mm-hmm.
It's really just that, like,
affirmation.
No, that's not the word that I want.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine, because that's what I was gonna say, and I'm like, that's not the right word. It's really just reaffirming that we are doing we're on the right path.
That we're on the right
yes,
path.
that we're yeah. See, you're not the only one who can't word process today.
All right. Well, that's why there's two of us
right,
here. Okay.
Exactly.
If one falls, there's the other one to pick the other up or fall with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So you're good. Okay, love. The tarot card that I pulled for this is the Fool reverse. Oh well. Let's see what this bitch says, okay? Oh my gosh, the ice cream truck is passing by. I can hear the music.
Wait. I got a funny story to tell you because you just did that.
What?
I wasn't yelling, but I was like I was disciplining Izzy. That's the word I want. I was disciplining my kid the other day, and she's looking at me. She's totally sad because she got in trouble. She knows it. I'm staying the stern mom, and I shit you not, dude. In the middle of me disciplining her, her head snaps to the side, and she goes, "Squirrel!"
Ew. Why are your kids so weird?
No, dude, it was so random that it shocked her and me both. And then, like, I couldn't even discipline her anymore because I was laughing so hard. And my mom and her boyfriend and my grandma, because my grandma's out here visiting from California, all of us just started laughing. And I'm like, I was like, just walk away because I can't even look at you right now without laughing. And your little ice cream truck thing reminded me of that.
That's funny. Little weirdo. So, this says current state of mind. It's all about you. Naive thinking and careless actions lead you to constantly live in the moment with no plans for the future. Your actions can be seen as selfish, feeding your ego, and ignoring the consequences of how you are affecting those around you. In short, you are acting the fool. Check your ego and ask yourself if your actions are based off of wholeness and confidence or uncertainty and insecurity. Ground yourself and find your center within. You could also be walking into a vulnerable situation where you may be taken advantage of. Don't be naive and do your research. Be prepared for whatever you're about to walk into, whether it's an interview, meeting, or date. Risks might gratify you for the moment, but they could cost you in the long run. That's
Listen,
scary.
I feel like you just called me out hardcore without even like trying to.
I don't like it.
I have some stuff to tell you after we're done recording about why I feel called out.
Okay.
But Ghosties, this card and the High Priestess really goes back to what we've been saying all season so far, which is there's always going to be the ups and downs. And I feel like these two cards have such opposite meanings, and it's just really reaffirming. That's the word I was looking for. Is really it's really reaffirming that aspect of the ups and downs of life.
Jesus. Wow.
I'm not even high.
Dude, imagine me reacting to that. I'm just like, why are you yelling?
Anyways.
What's happening?
You're gonna end the show?
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that was something. That was Thank you, Ghosties, so much for joining us this week. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode as much as we did. If so, make sure to give us a follow on Instagram and TikTok. We are your hosts. I'm Veronica.
And I'm Chelsea.
Have a spooky weekend, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.